As a 49ers fan, this offseason has sucked a lot and has led many to wonder, why does the 49ers management hate us? And it's because they don't have a choice. They're stuck under the issue that many teams commonly fall into, where they have to pay the QB. Now, this has been known to kill teams for years, so let's talk about that. Right now, the ideal way to build up a team is to build the roster to its best capability, then put the QB in last. This is because the QB is the most expensive position, and once they get paid, it becomes very difficult to afford other key positions. That's why it's best to build your team first, so you have time while the QB is on a rookie contract. This is why we're seeing sudden success in the Commanders. They built their team with additions of Austin Eckler and Zach Ertz, and they both help out Terry McLaurin. These additions built an offense for Jaden Daniels coming in, and this versatile offense combined with Daniels' skill set has created quite the season. And the Commanders are doing something that the Niners aren't quite doing right now. They are actually building. Sorry, still a little bit salty about the Niners right now. But you know what? It's okay. Because you guys can cheer me up. Because only 1.8% of you guys are subscribed. So I would really appreciate if you had just subscribed. It made me happy again. Anyways, back to the video. The Panthers are a perfect example of a team not following this philosophy. After the significant mishandling of multiple valuable trade assets, they screwed their team because they are bad and now they don't have a lot of assets to work with. And then they continued to make mistakes with drafting Bryce Young before building a competent team around him. Bryce Young got sacked several times with no offensive line and nobody to throw to. What made it worse is they had a minimal difference in their roster going into the second season, which killed his confidence. Even though he showed a few bright flashes later in the season, I doubt they can even build a remotely good team by the time his rookie contract is up, because they are in such a deep hole. Now, back to the teams that are successful. Even if you do build a great team, not every team can win the Lombardi Trophy every year. If you reach the end of a rookie scale contract and you haven't gotten all the way yet, you're in a tough spot. You need to pay a lot of money to your quarterback, so much that you'll have to let go of some key players. The Eagles are a perfect example of what to do. If a player is a number one option, or even a second option in some cases, that player will very likely demand to become the highest paid player at that position, regardless of whether they're the best in the league or not. This is because there will always be a desperate team with money that will make them the highest paid player. So what the Eagles did that set them up for success was pay all of their players as soon as possible, making them the highest paid players at the time. However, because they paid their guys early, other players across the league eventually got paid even more, making the Eagles' contracts look like good deals in hindsight. Now, they're spending less than other teams and they have more money available for other positions. That's how they had the cap space to get Saquon Barkley while still keeping Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown. Now, here's the scary part of being an NFL front office. You cannot pay the wrong guy. Paying the wrong QB is death for an organization. This is where the statement comes in: if you can't win on a rookie scale contract, you can't win on a full scale contract. This statement can be confusing, especially if you only watch like a few games a year, because some QBs haven't won the big game yet, but still get paid without hesitation. For example, take Josh Allen. He hasn't gone all the way yet, but he elevates his team. And he doesn't back down in the playoffs. And he can also lead his team to victory when his roster isn't stacked. He's the exception to the philosophy that a QB must be on a rookie contract to win. A super small group of players can elevate their team even without Pro Bowlers at every position. These are the elites, like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. However, some QBs get paid but can't carry the whole team on their shoulders. These are the QBs that require super smart front offices to succeed because they're what we call game managers, rather than game changers like the elites. The game manager tag does not mean a player is bad or is not great, but they just aren't in the elite tier, and they simply just do their job. These QBs can still be special, but they can't be overpaid. This is where it gets nerve-wracking for 49er fans, because we don't know if Brock Purdy can raise his potential to a game-changer level. He seemed like he could be one of the elites when he had all the pieces around him. But once he was stripped of all of his weapons last year, we saw he isn't quite at that level yet. He's been labeled a game manager,
and that's where teams get nervous. Once a QB gets paid, the overall team gets a little worse, unless you have a smart front office that knows how to manage the cap smartly. Even then, it's tough to navigate paying a QB because you are now financially committed to that player, making it difficult to move on if things don't work out. Real quick before I say any of the next parts, just know that what I'm about to say is subjective. Okay, but anyways, I think what they need to do is they need to get all the payments out the way. They have already cut so many players. Since they seem confident in Brock Purdy and they're rolling with him, they need to hurry up and pay him so that's out of the way. Then they should extend anybody else who needs a new contract, so that way there's no competition with other teams driving up the price. This way, after a season or two, the team's contracts won't look so bad as compared to other teams' contracts. Eventually, they'll have the cap space to rebuild while keeping their core players, and they can still build through the draft. However, this offseason has sucked, because we will feel the pain of these losses for a while during the rebuild. So, to sum it all up, paying a QB changes everything. If a team isn't smart with their timing, contracts, and roster building, they can ruin a Super Bowl window in an instant. The 49ers are at a critical point right now. They need to handle their contracts wisely, lock in their players, and make sure they don't overpay if Brock Purdy doesn't develop into a game changer. Otherwise, this team could fall apart fast, and rebuilding would take years. For now, we just have to hope the front office makes the right moves and that this team doesn't fade away like many others have after paying their quarterback. By the way, only 98.2% of you guys are subscribed. Come on, please, just subscribe. It's free and it helps me out make these videos for you guys. And I really enjoy it, so I'd really like if you guys subscribe. And I'm trying to hit 400 subscribers. And if just some of you guys subscribed, I feel like we'd hit that pretty fast. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.